Welcome back to Self-Built. Today I'll be showing you how to set up and use your QuickJack. Normally my videos are themed around fitness, but it's also about doing your own DIY things. That's why we got a wrench here. I'm going to tell you about the QuickJack, show you how to build it, set it up, and what my experience has been so far. If you guys are like me, you like to do the work yourself on your cars. And sometimes being able to get under your car is kind of a pain in the butt. I've got jacks and jack stands, but I've been in situations where it feels a little sketchy or they're just not tall enough and I don't feel like upgrading all of mine to get a higher height on them. This led me to begin my journey of finding a jack, if there's even one that's affordable, that is portable enough that you can use for your own home and easy to set up. And that is what brought me to the QuickJack. You can get them on Amazon, Costco, a lot of different websites. You can get them from their own website. So there's a lot of options. They tend to run, depending on which model you do, there's like 5 or 6 different models. But they range from about $1,400 to $1,900 depending on where you go and where you get them. I'll leave a link in the description below of where you can find some. The super nice thing is all you do is after you assemble it, you just slide it under your car, put them on the right lifting points, and push a button and raise it up. You don't have to be pumping a jack. You don't have to be sliding things around. Like, it is solid. It's not going anywhere. I've got this in its highest position right now, and from the floor to where you put the bottom of whatever you want to do for an adapter is about 20 inches. You can do the truck adapters here that I've got. This is stage 1. You can also add these for more height. It probably gets at about 6 inches would be my guess. You also get these blocks. These are 3 inches tall each. And this is probably like 2 inches. I didn't measure that one. So it comes with a lot of different adjustments for height for your vehicle. So it's super nice. And you can also go as low as 3.5 inches with this type of setup on this one. This is the 7000 model. So it'll hold 7,000 pounds. This is the pump that it comes with. And then the remote is very simple, up and down. You'll see a lot of warnings on all the packaging. It tells it multiple times, but does everybody read that stuff? Probably not. So I'll just share that with you. There's 2 huge no-nos with the QuickJack. The first one is never raise it all the way up without having any weight on top of the jack, because it's designed to have a car's weight on it. So lowering it might be a challenge. And then the other thing is, don't raise your car up, take all the wheels off and lower it down all the way, because it's not designed to have full power at the very bottom of its range of motion. Packaging was actually really solid. They've got it covered in styrofoam, and then they had a piece of wood on the front and the bottom. So that way it's just more protected during shipping. The box has the specs of the lift. You can also see all of the lifts compared right here if you want to pause it. The only tools that I needed for this was a 3/16 Allen, 11/16 and a 7/8 wrench. You may need a Schrader wrench when you're adding pressure to this canister if it's leaking. Mine wasn't leaking, so I didn't need it. You want to make sure you got all the pieces needed. So I've got the QuickJack jacks themselves, 2 short, 2 long hoses, fittings, pump, 2 elbows. I got the truck package, so make sure you got all those. All of the rubber blocks. This package does come with the wall mounts. Hydraulic oil is not included, so just make sure to pick that up on your own. We're going to remove the shipping cap and put an elbow in. Make sure this is pointed in that direction. One quick goof I did when setting this up was I actually had the elbow pointing that way. You want to have it pointing away from this whole strut shock, because otherwise you're not able to run this below the jack. There's no clearance or anything down there. Next, you want to grab one of the small hoses, have the female end, and attach it to the elbow. We're going to put some thread sealant on here. I was lucky to have 2 different types of inflators. The first one had a gauge, but it wouldn't fit for some reason. So this method, I had to blindly fill it up. I overfilled it a little bit, but then I would just slowly bleed it. We got about 45 pressure here. You don't want to be above 50. About 40 to 50 is the maximum pressure that you want to be at. So this side is fully prepped. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Next, you're going to have the 4 female versions of the Quick Connect. and you're going to attach it to the long hoses. Same process as these. We got the pump here. These are the fill holes. We're going to remove these shipping fill holes. And we're going to replace them with these two connectors here. Then we're going to fill this up. If your cap has a bleeder valve like this, make sure when you're using it that you always keep it loose. And then when you don't need it anymore and you're done with it, close it. Next, we're going to connect the hoses. These are pretty interesting. So you just push it, the female, right onto the male. Just like that. Got the hoses connected to the machine. Got the machine plugged in. Now we're going to bleed it. I've propped up that end because the bleeder valves are on that side. Oh, there we go. If your jacks don't lower by themselves, they're meant to have weight on them, so I just pushed them down with my feet. So I raise it up and push it down 3 times. And then there's a bleeder valve right here on each of these. After you pump it up, get an Allen wrench to loosen this, have a towel to catch it. But what you're going to do is bleed the air out, so you'll be getting some fluid out too. But you'll open it until you hear the air coming out, and then you'll want to bleed all the air out on both sides. And then once you've done that, you'll want to raise this up. You want to hold the up button for 3 seconds. And while it's still in the air, do it one more time, and then you should be good. Then you take them off the stands, and moment of truth is you want to see if they'll both raise at the same time without being jerky or anything like that. If it does do that, then you want to redo the bleeding process. And you want them to go up at the same time, just like that. So they are ready to be used. Now we gotta do the real test. I put the jacks under here with one truck adapter, lifted it a little bit, and then got it to where it should be nice and snug on the lifting point. Now, one quick thing, when you're wanting to put it into locking position, is you need this to be back, so that way it can rest the metal on the metal. If it's not locked in, for example, like this is when you want to lower it and lower it all the way down. I've got it on the second one, so once you get it to the right height, then you want to set it down. Then once they're placed down, push and hold the down button for about 3 seconds so it'll depressurize. And then check out all this room you got. All this room for activities. Plenty of room to do all the work and services you'd need. When you need to lower this, it's very easy. Right now it's just resting on the frame. So just push up till it just gets off. And then you just need to swing this back on both sides, lower it, and that's it. When you're lowering it and just need to move this arm, you can just tap it with your foot. You don't have to reach all the way down and have to touch it with your hand. You can just use your foot. Quick tip is after you've got your car lifted and it's in the air, check all of your hoses for leaks and see if there's any sort of leaks or anything. That way it'll tell you if there's any leaks. I'm really excited and looking forward to using this more in the future. And I'll probably give a few tips and tricks in the future of how to make it more user-friendly. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you've got any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with everyone that you know. And we'll see you next time on More Self Boo.